Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Karolína Plíšková. Karolína Plíšková is a Czech professional tennis player. She is a former world number 1, and is currently ranked number 4 in the world by the Women's Tennis Association. Plíšková has won 9 singles and 5 doubles titles on the WTA Tour, as well as 10 singles and 6 doubles titles on the ITF circuit in her career. On the 31st of October 2016 she peaked at world number 11 in the doubles rankings. She reached her first Grand Slam final at the 2016 US Open, where she was runner-up in 3 sets. As a junior, Plíšková won the girls' singles event at the 2010 Australian Open, defeating Laura Robson in the final. She has also played for the Czech Republic in Fed Cup competition. Personal life. Plíšková was born in Louny to Radek Plíšek and Martina Plíšková, and has an identical twin sister, Kristina, who is 2 minutes older and is also a tennis player. Karolína currently lives in Monte Carlo. 2012. Plíšková played her first senior Grand Slam tournament main draw at the 2012 French Open. To qualify she defeated Evtimova, Tamarin Hendler and Laura Robson. She lost in the first round to world number 8 Marion Bartoli in straight sets. 2013, first WTA title. Plíšková started the year in Brisbane International. She however lost to Olga Puchkova in the first round in 2 sets. Then in her next tournament in Sydney she qualified, beating Alexandra Panova, Irina Falconi and Estrella Cabeza Candela. In the first round she lost to the 3rd seed Sara Errani. Plíšková won her maiden WTA title at the 2013 Malaysian Open. She defeated several seeded players to reach the final against the American Bethany Mattek-Sands, defeating her in 3 sets. At the Generali Ladies Linz in October, Plíšková won her first WTA title in doubles alongside sister Kristina, becoming the first set of twins in history to win a doubles title together on the tour. 2014 breakthrough. 2014 was a breakthrough year for Plíšková. After consecutive second-round finishes in Auckland and at the Australian Open, she reached her second career WTA Tour final in Pattaya City, defeating top 50 players Bethany Mattek-Sands and Sorana Cîrstea before losing to Ekaterina Makarova in the final. She then reached the 3rd round of Indian Wells, the quarter-finals at the Monterrey Open and the semi-finals in Kuala Lumpur between March and April. In May she reached her 3rd career final in Nuremberg, losing to 2nd seed Eugenie Bouchard in 3 sets. She broke into the top 50 in July, and defeated world number 9 Ana Ivanovic in the 2nd round of the US Open. After playing in America she reached 2 finals in 2 consecutive weeks in Hong Kong, where she lost to Sabine Lisicki, and in Seoul, which she won, defeating Varvara Lepchenko in the final to take her 2nd career title. A 3rd overall title in Linz ensured Plíšková finished the year ranked world number 24. As an alternate, Plíšková made a round-robin appearance at the season-closing Tournament of Champions in lieu of top seed Ekaterina Makarova, losing her sole match against Flavia Pennetta of Italy. After reaching 5 finals, and winning 2 of them, and appearing to a broader public at the US Open with a big win over a former world number 1, 2014 was a breakthrough year for Plíšková. She leaped from world number 67 to 24. 2015 Top 10 debut. Plíšková began her year at the 2015 Brisbane International, where she defeated former world number 1 and 2-time Grand Slam champion Victoria Azarenka in the first round before losing in the second. She reached her first WTA Premier-level final at the 2015 Apia International Sydney, defeating Carla Suarez Navarro and Angelique Kerber before losing to fellow Czech Petra Kvitova in 2 tie-breaking sets. As a consequence of this run, she broke into the world's top 20 for the first time in her career. At the first Grand Slam of the year in Australia, Plíšková reached the 3rd round before losing to Russia's Ekaterina Makarova. She made her debut for the Czech Republic Fed Cup team in the first round of the 2015 Fed Cup World Group in February, winning both of her rubbers against Françoise Obanda and Gabriela Dombrovský of Canada, to help the Czechs to a 4-0 win in Quebec. As the 8th seed, Plíšková reached semi-final at Diamond Games Antwerp before losing to eventual runner-up Carla Suarez Navarro. She then played at the 2015 Dubai Duty-Free Championships and reached the final as the 17th seed, along the way beating number 4 seed Anna Ivanovic, fellow Czech Lucie Safarova, and the rising Spaniard Garbiñe Muguruza. She lost in the final against the top seed Simona Halep. Plíšková then played in Indian Wells where she won a rematch with Muguruza in the 3rd round before losing again to Halep. In Miami, Plíšková reached the quarterfinals where she lost to Andrea Petkovic. Plíšková was the top seed in her home tournament in Prague. She reached the final by defeating Annika Beck, Svetlana Pironkova, Denisa Alatova and Janina Wickmeyer, going to a 3rd set in 3 of her 4 matches. In the final, she defeated fellow Czech Lucie Radecka in another 3-set battle to claim her 4th WTA title. At the Madrid Open, she beat Silvia Sola Espinosa in the first round but lost to Caroline Garcia in the second. At the Rome Open, she lost in the first round to Taime Baczynski in straight sets. She lost in the second round of French Openers 12th seed to unseeded Andrea Mitu in straight sets after beating Zhang Shuai in the first round. She reached another final at Aegon Classic, losing to Angelique Kerber in 3 sets. She lost to Agnieszka Radwanska at Aegon International in the 3rd round. At Wimbledon, Plíšková defeated Irina Falconi in 3 sets before losing to Coco van der Wey in the 2nd round. She made another final at Stanford Classic, losing once again to Angelique Kerber. Plíšková lost in the first round at Rogers Cup to Mirjana Lucic Baroni and in the 3rd round of the Western, and reached the quarterfinals of the Connecticut Open, losing to Lesia Surenko, seeded 8th. At the US Open, Plíšková suffered a shocking loss to Anna Tatashvili in the first round. She made another 2 quarterfinals at Torrey Pan Pacific Open and Wuhan Open, losing to Agnieszka Radwanska and Roberta Vinci respectively, but lost in the first round of China Open to Sloane Stephens in straight sets. Her next tournament was the Tianjin Open, where she reached the semi-finals, losing to Radwanska for the 3rd time in 2015. She lost in second round of the Kremlin Cup to Anastasia Jasevastova. She reached a tour-leading 6th final at the WTA Elite Trophy but lost to Venus Williams in straight sets. She ended the year ranked number 11 in singles, and was the 13th most popular player of the year according to the WTA's website. Plíšková played as Czech number 2 in the Fed Cup final, losing to Maria Sharapova on Saturday. The following day she defeated Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in singles, and won the deciding doubles rubber with Barbora Strycova against Pavlyuchenkova and Elena Vesnina, to win her first Fed Cup title. 2016 First Premier 5 title, US Open runner-up and top 5. Plíšková began her season at the 2016 Hopman Cup where she partnered with Jiří Veselý to represent the Czech Republic. She recorded singles wins over Jarmila Wolf and Victoria Duval, She reached quarterfinals in Sydney by defeating Anna Ivanovic and Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, both in straight sets, but lost to world number 2 Simona Halep in straight sets. At the 2016 Australian Open, Plíšková defeated Kimberly Birrell and Julia Gorges in the first 2 rounds. However, she again lost to Makarova, who defeated her at the same round at last year's Australian Open. After the tournament, she competed at Fed Cup and earned important wins over Simona Halep and Monica Niculescu in Czech Republic's tie against Romania. Her next tournament was the Dubai Tennis Championships, where she was defending last year's points as a finalist. However, she fell to Coco Vandeweghe in straight sets. Struggles continued as she lost to Margarita Gasparian in the first round of the Qatar Open. After receiving a first-round bye in Indian Wells, Plíšková defeated Shelby Rogers and Anna Ivanovic, both in straight sets. She then defeated Johanna Konta in 3 sets, and earned another straight sets win over rising star Daria Kasatkina before losing in 3 sets to eventual champion Victoria Azarenka. Despite her good campaign in Indian Wells, Plíšková lost in the second round of the Miami Open to Taimé Babos after another first-round bye. Plíšková opened her clay court season at the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix. She defeated the 2015 French Open finalist Lucy Safarova in the first round in 3 sets, and Anna Ivanovic in straight sets. However, she would fall to the first seed Agnieszka Radwanska in the third round. She next competed at the Prague Open. She cruised by Stephanie Vogel, Katerina Siniakova and Kamila Georgi in the first 3 rounds. However, she would lose in straight sets to Lucy Safarova in the semi-finals. Plíšková lost in the second round of the Matu Madrid Open to Madison Keys in straight sets, and fell in the first round of the Italian Open to Daria Kasatkina. Her clay court season would come to a disappointing end as she would lose to the 108th ranked player in the world Shelby Rogers in the first round of the French Open. Plíšková won her first title of the year at the 2016 Aegon Open after a 3-set match with Anastasia Sevastova in the first round. She cruised to the final and beat Alison Risk for her first grass title. She then lost in the first round of the Birmingham Classic to fellow Czech Barbora Strycova and reached the final of the Eastbourne International, where she lost to Dominika Cibulkova. At Wimbledon, Plíšková beat Janina Wickmayer in 3 sets before losing to Masaki Doi in the second round. Plíšková began her hard court season at the Rogers Cup, where she beat Katerina Bondarenko and Sara Errani before losing in straight sets to eventual champion Simona Halep. She then pulled out of the Olympics. Plíšková won her maiden WTA Premier tournament at the Western. Her victory denied Kerber the opportunity to take over the world ranking from Serena Williams, and enabled Williams to tie Steffi Graf's record of 186 consecutive weeks at the US Open. Plíšková beat wildcard Sofia Kenin, qualifier Montserrat Gonzalez, and Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova en route to her first Grand Slam round of 16, where she defeated number 6 seed and 2-time champion Venus Williams in 3 sets, and ensured her first ever major quarterfinal, where she faced Anna Konjuh. She beat the Croatian in straight sets and reached her first major semi-final, where she beat Serena Williams in straight sets to reach the final, where Serena Williams was attempting to vie her 7th US Open title. In the final, she lost to incoming number 1 Angelique Kerber despite winning the second set and being 3-1 up in the final set. Plíšková continued the season with playing in Asia, and the first tournament was in Tokyo. However, she lost in the first match to qualifier Alexandra Sasnovich. In the next tournament in Wuhan she had bye in the first round, and in the second round she defeated countrywoman Lucy Safarova and easily lost to Dominika Cibulkova. Her run ended in the third round in Beijing either. In the first round she met Safarova again and beat her in 3 sets and then won over Daria Kasatkina by winning 9-7 in tie-break third set. Then she lost to Johanna Konta in 3 sets. Plíšková qualified for 2016 WTA finals and was in the group with Agnieszka Radwanska, Garbiñe Muguruza, and Svetlana Kuznetsova. The first match was against Muguruza, which Plíšková won and had to face Muguruza's match points. In other matches the opponents were more successful and Plíšková ended the tournament in Singapore with 1 win and 2 losses. Plíšková played her final matches of 2016 in the Fed Cup final in France. She beat Kristina Mladenovic in the first singles rubber, which saw the third set end in a score of 14-12. This was the longest rubber in a Fed Cup final. In terms of games played, in the next singles rubber against Caroline Garcia, Plíšková lost in 3 sets. The tie was even after the 4 singles rubbers, setting up a decisive doubles contest in which Plíšková partnered with Barbora Strycova to defeat the WTA number 1 ranked doubles team of Mladenovic Garcia. With this victory over France, Plíšková and her Czech teammates completed a Fed Cup hat-trick. It was also the second consecutive year that Plíšková and Strycova won a decisive doubles rubber in the final. At the end of the season she changed coaches. Jiří Vanek was substituted by David Koteizer, former coach of compatriot and 2-time Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitova. 2017 French Open semi-final and number 1 ranking. In 2017 Plíšková started the season by playing in Brisbane where she beat Yulia Putintseva and qualifier Asia Mohammed in 2 sets and then Roberta Vinci in 3 sets. Karolína then defeated Elina Svitolina and Alizé Cornet and won her 7th title. At the 2017 Australian Open she defeated easily Sara Sorribes-Tormo and Anna Blinkova, and beat Yelena Ostapenko in 3 sets despite being down 2-5 in the third. In the 4th round she defeated Daria Gavrilova, and reached her 2nd straight Grand Slam quarter-final where she was defeated by unseeded Mirjana Lucic-Baroni in 3 sets. Her ranking increased to a career high of 3 in the world. In February Karolína played Fed Cup first round against Spain in Ostrava, Czech Republic. She defeated Lara Rawabarena and Garbiñe Muguruza both in straight sets. Her next tournament was Doha where she had a bye in the first round. She played against Caroline Garcia in the second round and revenged a loss from the end of 2016 with a straight sets win. Then she played 2 matches in one day due to rain and won both of them. The quarter-final against Zhang Shuai lasted overall about 7 hours. However, she outlasted Shuai in 2 sets before edging No. 5 Dominika Cibulkova in 3 sets, a match in which she hit a career-best 21 aces to beat the Slovakian for the first time. In the final, she beat Caroline Wozniacki in straight sets to win her 8th WTA title. Plíšková lost in the second round to Kristina Mladenovic in Dubai. In the second round of the BNP Paribas Open, she defeated Monica Puig in 3 sets in a match full of errors. Although Plíškova's performance was not so confident, she defeated Irina Camelia Begu in 2 sets. Jaime Baczynski, who retired at the end of the 6th game, and Garbiñe Muguruza in 2 tie breaks. In the semi-final against Svetlana Kuznetsova, Plíšková fell in straight tie breaks. She reached the semi-finals of the Miami Open, recording straight set victories against qualifier Madison Brengel, Yulia Putintseva, countrywoman Barbora Strycova and Mirjana Lucic Baroni before falling to Caroline Wozniacki in 3 sets. Pliskova kicked off the clay court season in Stuttgart, where she defeated Coco Vandeweghe in straight sets but then lost in the quarterfinals to eventual champion Laura Siegemund. She then lost in the first round of home tournament Prague to Camila Giorgi. She also reached her first quarterfinals in Rome. In the first round she beat Lauren Davis then Time Baczynski before losing to eventual champion Alina Svitolina in straight sets, in which was also her first defeat to Svitolina in her career. At the 2017 French Open she beat Zheng Saizaya, Katerina Alexandrova and Karina Withoft before winning a close 4th-round match against Veronika Seppi-Droig. She then defeated Caroline Garcia to set up a semi-final encounter with Simona Halep, which she lost in 3 sets. The defeat prevented her from claiming the world #1 ranking at the conclusion of the tournament. At Wimbledon, Pliskova was again one of the pre-tournament favorites, but suffered a second-round exit after losing in 3 sets to world number 87 Magdalena Rybarikova. On July 17, Pliskova reached the WTA world #1 ranking for the first time in her career. She was the first female player representing the Czech Republic to achieve the feat. Czechoslovakian-born Martina Navratilova also achieved a WTA world #1 ranking, but was representing the United States when she first topped the rankings in 1978. Pliskova attained solid results during the U.S. Summer Swing, reaching the quarterfinals and semi-finals of the 2017 Rogers Cup and the 2017 Western. Pliskova participated in the 2017 U.S. Open, where she was the top seed for the first time in a major. Pliskova easily defeated Magda Linette in straight sets in the first round, and outlasted American Nicole Gibbs after dropping the first set. In the third round she made a furious comeback after being a set down and facing match point in the second set to defeat 27th seed Zhang Shuai. She defeated Jennifer Brady by dropping just 1 game and advanced to the quarterfinals. Pliskova lost to Coco Vandeweghe in 2 sets in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open. Playing style. Pliskova utilizes an extremely aggressive style highlighted by her powerful, accurate serve as well as her forceful ground strokes, often in tandem with her net play, to extract errors from opponents or win points outright. She also shows accuracy and power on mid-court shots, sometimes following them to net. In the 2016 US Open final, she won 80% of her serve and volley points. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Would you like to know more?